Good morning. Today I've come along to Wyming Brook on the outskirts of Sheffield. It's not a place I've been to before, so I'm looking forward to having a bit of a scout round and investigating the place and seeing if there's any images out there. From the pictures I've seen in books and videos I've seen in YouTube, there is plenty of scope. So yeah, I decided to come out today and give it a go. I say the weather today is actually quite glorious, really, considering the time of year. Most places seem to be grey and dull and rainy, yet up here at the moment it's quite sunny. The clouds are sort of non-existent. I don't think you can really tell, but there's mainly blue skies here with sort of clouds on the horizon. Fortunately, this brook runs down a gorge, so it's fairly shaded, so hopefully the sun won't cause me any problems when I eventually find some compositions. We've also had a bit of snow up here, and the surrounding countryside is looking very nice, although that's not the aim of today, obviously. But there's a little smattering of snow kicking around. I don't know if you can see just along the side here. As you go over towards the edge, I think you can see down into the gorge there is some snow, but it's not blanketed the place. Nonetheless, still looks quite nice. From what I can see from up here, along the path or the main path that seems to just follows the gorge, where it's sheltered further down, there's still quite a bit of greenery, plenty of moss covering the trees and any rocks that are about down there. So yeah, I'm quietly hopeful, or reservedly hopeful, that I'm going to capture at least a couple of decent images today. Right, I've made it to pretty much the bottom of the brook. Considering the weather today, albeit nice and bright, the conditions in the local area are very wet and boggy. I did make a brief trip down to the side of the brook, up near where I parked the car, and I very nearly lost to Wellington. So I've made the decision to basically follow what is essentially, I think, the main path for the area. It also seems to be like a service road as well, to get down to the reservoir that is somewhere behind those trees. And I've now made it down to pretty much the bottom of the hill, and there is another entrance to the brook down here, so I'm going to go off and explore back up the brook and see if I can find anything worthy of an image. Okay, I found my first couple of compositions. First image was facing back up towards this little fall here, using these rocks as foreground interest. I was just playing around with my camera settings. I tried sort of taking the aperture right up down to a small f number, around about 3.2 I think it was, in an effort to be able to capture some of the movement in the water. There's a few images I've captured that the detail in the water has disappeared, and that's not the effect I was looking for. So I've gone with like the larger aperture, the smaller f number, and I've also gone the other way, tried to use my normal f/11 up to the ISO to enable me to bring the shutter speed, or to enable me to take the shutter speed up, again to have the same effect. It's come out fairly well. I'm probably going to have to like stack a couple of images in Photoshop just to get the desired effect. So I'm not getting it all in one frame at the moment. And my second composition is quite literally looking straight back across the river and trying to capture some of this feature in the water. You can't see it over the clear. It's probably a better view there, sort of this here. Again, playing around with the aperture and with my ISO so that I can get a bit more detail in the water. And over the far bank here, so the main focus is with these trees and rocks with the moss on. Doesn't look too bad. Might not be the best image I've taken, but sometimes I think the images aren't that good, and then I go back onto the computer and they don't look too bad. Right, I'm going to make my way up the brook a little way and see what else I can find. Well, I have to say, Wyming Brook is far exceeding my expectations for today. This place is absolutely gorgeous. Admittedly, the sun keeps going behind the cloud and the scenery gets a bit dull, but when it does come out, you get the speckles of light across the scenery, which makes for some really nice imagery. What is also nice is as you're coming along the brook, in my instance I'm going upwards, back up the hill with the brook, you come across lots of these footpath bridges. Obviously they're there for improving access along the brook, but they also make for some interesting subject matter. What is also quite nice is, well, if you can see behind me, we've still got a lot of orange in the leaves that are on the ground. That's really nice contrast to the green that you're getting on the boulders and on the tree stumps from all the moss that's down here. Obviously it's very sheltered down here, so that's going to be pretty much the case all year round. I have to say I'm probably going to have to come back during the spring and for the additional greenery, and then during the autumn, because I imagine it is pretty damn spectacular down here as the trees turn. But as I say, I'm making my way upstream, up brook in this case. I'm not sure how far I can get, because from what I saw from the other end, the path becomes difficult or non-existent. So I'm going to carry on up the brook and see what other images I can get. I have to say, I've never been to a place that has been so giving with the amount of compositions that I'm getting. This place is just absolutely amazing. What you see in books, or what I've seen in books, and what you see on the internet just doesn't reflect how good a place this is. I think people are obviously trying to keep this place a secret, trying to keep it to themselves so they get all the best images. Even in low light that we've got at the minute because the sun's gone behind the cloud, It's just awesome. So you've got the greens, the oranges, you've got the brook that is running quite high at the moment, obviously because of all the rain we've had over the last few weeks. It's just spectacular. So if I'd been walking up here just for a casual daily stroll, I probably would have been going for about 10-15 minutes max, but because I keep stopping every so many metres, I've probably been here about an hour to an hour and a half so far, and I don't know how far I've got to go. So if I keep going at the rate I'm going, I'm not going to make it to the end, back up to the car park where I started before the sun disappears, and that's saying something because it's only 20 to 12 at the moment. As I say, this place is just amazing. You've got the oranges from the fallen leaves, you've got the greens from masses, and the trees that are still in leaf because of where the brook is situated. And I just can't believe I've never been here before. Right. Ooh, it's exciting. I'm going to crack on and get some more images. Most of the images I've taken so far have been shooting upstream, up brook. My next composition is again going to be up brook, but I think the area that I'm in, there's a possibility of doing an image looking down the brook, so I'm going to have a play with that as well. Hopefully that will work out, and if it does, I'll put it on the screen shortly. If not, I won't. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. Okay, so I think I've managed to get myself an image of something downstream so far. Sorry for the noise, it's a little bit noisy here. But yes, onwards and upwards. That's it for today's vlog. I'm very nearly back to where I started. I have to say this route seems a bit shorter than I actually thought it was. I think my perception's been warped by the fact that I've been stopping along the way, and therefore it's taken me a long way to get to this point than if I was walking, as I may have mentioned earlier on. There's still a chance for a few more images, which I'm going to have a look for now before I head back to the car and head back home. I highly recommend Wyming Brook for somewhere to come and visit, even if you're not coming to take photographs. It's a nice day out. It's certainly not access friendly, especially along the riverside. But if you, from where you park, there is it's like a service road or track, a main walk that takes you from the car park at the top of the brook down towards the reservoir at the bottom. It's a nice little walk in itself if you want to get out and about. And I suppose it's pushchair and wheelchair accessible. If I come across any more images, I will put them up shortly. If you've liked today's video, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when my next one's up. Although, I don't know if you've noticed, I seem to be fairly regular at the moment of doing them every couple of weeks. I don't intend to change that at the moment. Although I would like to do more vlogs, and perhaps at some point we'll do them weekly, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So again, if you've liked today's video, like and subscribe, I really appreciate it, and help this channel grow, which is something I think I would like to do now. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you on the next one.